Hi everyone, I'm Christy, and this is my senior capstone proposal on the topic of user experience design. Starting off with a little bit about me, my name is Guiqing, but I do go by Christy for most of the time. I am a transfer student from KCC, previously graduated from Guiqing High School and currently major in the creative media program with focus concentration in game design and development. Sorry. Summarizing my presentation at a high level, it will be consist in 4 parts, starting with my plan for my senior's capstone project and stating my thesis statements. Next, I'll be giving an overview of my objective and rationale for the research I did, and last, addressing the significance of my proposing project. My research question begin with what is user experience design and how it impacts its user. I have stated my thesis statement to be by conducting research and analyzing data, designers can apply their skills in creating meaningful user experience that achieve personal and business objective with positive user engagement. While the meaningful design should focus on creating experience that are user-oriented rather than business-driven, with careful planning, designers can strike a balance in using different methods to create effective and successful UX or user experience solutions. Overall, my research has focused on figuring out what UX really means and how UX design can impact users. For there has never been a single consolidated answer to the question of what meaningful UX design involve. There are existing structures and definition of user experience that leads to successful UX designs with positive outcome. However, the process is never identical. I believe that by examining the evolution of the term UX design, user experience since its inception, shed light on the underlying concepts that support what UX really is and how they are viewed from different perspectives today. As it is important to consider the psychological and behavioral impact that UX design has on users, this exploration may review effective and ethical method for creating a good good experience design. For my capstone project, capstone plan, sorry. By the end of the semester, I'll develop a puzzle platform game with game design documents as my deliverable. This project will include target audience and market research to help create flowcharts, wireframe for the planning phase of the game designs. And the game in the end can be used as a visual presentation applying research and planning outcomes stated in the documentations. Overall, I'm trying to design an experience with reasonable decisions that is supported with research data and target audience goal. Next, I'll be addressing the significance of my project. One of the significance of the project is to understand the dynamicness in user experience. For each solution targeting a different user group, the process and method used should be different and dynamics towards them. By doing user or target audience research, I can give proper reasoning towards my design decisions and create a user-focused design. The further research I'm going to do for my project can also keep me innovative by acknowledging other people's work and seeing different possibilities for the different solutions. Another significance for this project is to value effective UX design in different methods. One of the method is by valuing disengagement space. Traditionally, disengagement are always an experience to avoid, while user engagement and extended time span on product use was the definition of good UX design. Here, I'm challenging to redefine what it means to be effective with a balanced inclusion of both engagement and disengagement method into my design. I'm hoping to go beyond a experience, not only focusing on functionality and usability satisfaction, but also aim to conclude a positive overall experience in a user's emotional and mental satisfaction by allowing space for user to take a break and come back after, creating an experience with quality and not only time quantities. The last significant point for this project is to understand how to carry out a project incorporating the user experience design process as a whole, for there are so much more to consider when planning out a project. The experience design for the project is only a part of what's making a product. Realizing how UX are dynamic and can be effective separately are not enough to have the product come true. Both of them must come together with a plan. The operation of setting up a productive timeline and reasonable project requirements are crucial for the project to come alive. Just some data about UX. Currently, I believe it makes sense to study and practice UX as there is an increasing recognition in users and growing demand for UX design in the market. From the Google Trend graph on the right, over here, the term user experience has grown steadily and has remained constantly high in the recent years. From the graph below, the popularity of the term digital usage has remained relatively stable over time with a slight increase in recent years. In contrast, the popularity of the term digital addiction has increased significantly over the past decade. This suggests that there is a growing concern and awareness about the potential negative effects of excessive digital use. The trend in search popularity are not necessarily exclusive, but there is a lot of variation and complexity in how people use and interact with digital technology. However, the trend in search popularity suggests that there is a growing recognition of the need to balance the benefit and drawback of digital technologies and to be mindful of our digital habit and behaviors. These recognition also suggests changes reflecting in user expectation when they use a digital product. So on the top here, we have the user experience trend, and on the bottom, the blue one is the digital use, and the red one is the digital addiction in compare. From a business standpoint, stating data from Design Management Institute, the design value index, which is a market capitalized weighted index that comprises design conscious company. The first graph on the left here shows a remarkable 10 years return of 200% or more over the Standard & Poor 500 index in the same period. And in the middle here, this is a forecast of the number of UX designer in the next decade from Nelson Norman Group. As the industry understand what the proper UX methodology applied in improving product quality, they will hire more people, causing a higher demand in the field. My target audience for this project are digital designers that are either going into the field or who are already in the field, or someone who is interested in the topic of UX and have some basic knowledge of the concept of user experience, who are in the range of 21 to 35 years old, regardless of their age. They could be digital designers, user hobbyists, or UX utilizers. My proposed solution is to raise awareness of the importance of having a balanced design of engagement and disengagement method, focusing on the user by beginning the project with researching into the target audience, consider emotional and behavioral aspect of the target group, then careful plan out project goals, requirements, and timeline that includes, but is not limited to, flow charts, wireframe, and markups of the product. visual example will be the game created with the goal of engaging player by telling a story within play mode 1, which represent the use of both engagement and disengagement concept, while player mode will aim to only engage player with time limit, representing the use of engagement for engagement focus concept. My project preparation, I think I'll start early in summertime to to practice more basic skills of Unity with online tutorials and working on my documentation in pieces, like getting the timelines and requirements ready, and begin my project with doing research needed to complete user experience and game design planning. The next phase, during the production phase, I'll be working on putting together the design document from pieces that have ready from preparation phase and finalizing it if possible. And at the same time, I'll be beginning my game development using Unity. Last, during the post phase, I'll be doing a playtest with a few selected people who are in range of my target audience. Get feedback if possible, and for the final deliverable, I should have a playable game exported along with the complete design document presented on the website. Overall, I'm hoping to deliver a puzzle platform game built with 2 different game modes that can engage player in different ways, along with a design document stating the plans and reasoning behind my design choice. The game idea I have are inspired by the snake game, 3D rolling ball game, a toddler toy, and the nature of a water drop on a lotus leaf. My design document should include both supporting information of my game design and my user experience design. Last but not least, the interactive game build itself would be the closing part of my planned deliverable. Here are just some visual example, and this is the sketch of my initial game idea in combination with the inspiration I stated in the previous slide, the world view structure from the toddler toy, the maze structure in the rolling ball game, the collectible mechanics from the snake game, and the player movement from the lotus leaf. However, this is just a rough sketch of the initial idea. Mechanics and styles are subject to change when come together with the detail from the other expected aspect of the project. And that concludes my proposal presentation. Thank you very much for listening, and feel free to ask any question if you have any. Thank you.